I was bullied because of the way I dress, the way I act, the way I talk.
It makes you feel really, really super bad about yourself.
I was cyberbullied. There's this kid, he texted me.
I've experienced bullying for nearly an entire year, and it makes you feel secluded and alone and different.
It happens in like every school. It's really bad.
Hi, I'm Ulster County Executive Mike Hine. But more than the county executive, I'm the father of a teenager. And I want to have a real talk with you about anti-bullying. You see, you have a right to an education without being bullied. You have a right to do your activities without being bullied. I like to think that Ulster County can be its absolute best when we work together to put an end to bullying.
Bullying. It presents a major public health threat in the United States. Bullying is a form of violence. It may cause physical injury, emotional, psychological injury, and even death.
I've been seeing it like all my time in school, ever since elementary school.
School should be your home away from homes, and to feel like you're threatened every time you walk into that building.
Verbal bullying, teasing, name-calling, making inappropriate sexual comments, taunting, or threatening to cause harm.
I've seen people get bullied because of like their religions.
Some people, like they judge people on the basis of their color.
I've experienced bullying because of the way I dress and the way I look.
Social bullying, leaving somebody out, asking someone not to be somebody's friend, spreading rumors about someone, or in any way embarrassing someone in public.
Well, if you're alone, then there's no one's gonna help you, so it makes you an easy target.
Physical bullying consists of anything from hitting, kicking, pushing, spitting, taking or breaking someone's things, making rude or mean hand gestures, or sexual aggression.
I have spent over 37 years in the field of criminal justice, specifically in probation, and have throughout that period of my career witnessed many examples of bullying.
So all last year, I was consistently bullied here in school and outside of school. And being at home, not enjoying what's going on, and then coming to school, not enjoying what's going on, being bullied, I felt like I couldn't go anywhere. I felt alone. I felt that I couldn't do anything about it.
A child who's experiencing this type of behavior will often begin to withdraw from the school setting, like not having homework assignments done as a reason not to go to a specific class, skipping that specific class.
Even talking about it felt exhausting and tiring. I felt like I had to explain myself to people in order to get them to understand, and I felt like I had nowhere to go.
This then, if not addressed, often leads to additional withdrawal, and that usually leads to some mental health issues and oftentimes substance abuse. We have in extreme circumstances seen this behavior continue to escalate and result in suicide, which is a tragic event in any community.
I've seen a lot of youth that are hurt very deeply and possibly to the point where they may hurt themselves.
I've had friends that were bullied and they've tried hurting themselves because they just kept getting bullied and no one would stop them from being bullied.
Suicidal thoughts are not good, and they do not feel good. Sometimes they're even worse than what's going on in school or at home. And I want you to know that you can overcome them, because I have. Suicide is permanent. Bullying is not.
If you're one of those kids who's a bully, I mean, my best advice for you is to just try to lay off of that. It really does hurt people's feelings, and they'll always remember it. No matter how old they'll get, they'll always remember it.
I remember being the victim of a bully when I was growing up. My mother had gotten me this outfit. It was a cute pair of yellow shorts with a matching top, and I really liked it. The first day that I wore that outfit, there was this girl. She stood at the top of the hill and she called out my name and told me that I was too dark-skinned, to wear yellow. Well, for a long time, I never wore orange, yellow, or red because I was embarrassed by what this girl had said. You see, she had really affected my self-esteem.
I was in 6th grade and it sucked. It was like every day someone would call me a name and it felt bad.
I've experienced being bullied when they just wanted to take it out on somebody else because they didn't know where to put all of their anger, and it made me feel terrible about myself.
Youth who are victimized are at increased risk for depression, for anxiety, sleep problems, fear of going to school.
It made me feel sad, depressed, kind of, yeah.
The objective of the bully is to make you feel small and unworthy. And on top of that, when no one comes to your assistance to defend you or validate your feelings, that can leave you feeling helpless, abandoned, and even more afraid.
If you see someone that's alone and nobody has their back, just a simple hi can change their life.
It's very upsetting to see it, and when people stick up for it, it just makes me so happy. It gives me like hope that there is people out there that believe that bullying's bad.
Bullying over the computer or over the iPhone has a very distant relationship. The bullier does not see the impact, while the person receiving that harassing information is really, really negatively impacted because they have no place to turn.
I just hear a lot of times like people making fun of others for what they wear, how they look, how they do their makeup, but I usually see it most online through their tweets or Facebook things about people. They don't say their name directly, but they have their group of friends who know who they're talking about, and then when that person finds out it's about them, I know it hurts.
People say certain things on the internet, and it's like sort of like they think the computer is like a shield that they can hide behind, and it's no reason just because you're behind a computer screen to bully someone, because it does make them feel bad.
Additionally, I'd also like to talk about the person or the child who is the bully. This oftentimes is a very unhappy and angry child who comes into the school setting feeling like they are less than the rest of their classmates. To gain attention and to gain acceptance from other students, they will act out to draw attention.
I think it's more of jealousy than anything. I think when people get jealous, they feel the need to bully other people to make themselves feel better.
I do think that bullying comes from feeling better about yourself. It's sort of like a pick-me-up to make you feel better, but it's not okay if you feel bad to make other people feel bad, because you don't want people to do it to you, so why do it to others?
The bullier is excluded at school, becomes a subject of disciplinary problems, finds school as a very negative experience, oftentimes is the dropout. And lastly, that behavior, when carried into the street, also leads to criminal behavior and jail and prison sentences.
I have a friend that was a bully, and she had an issue going on at home, and once the issue was resolved, the bullying stopped.
Nowadays, kids, they just keep getting bullied, and sometimes they bring the gun to school and they remember the kids who bullied them, and you get shot. You can lose your life over bullying, which is pathetic.
The person who sees what's going on, hears what's being said, that person we call the bystander. But by saying nothing about the injustice that they're seeing, these bystanders are silently agreeing with the bully. Bullies thrive on the approval and the attention that they get from the bystanders. And that's why it's important that you don't give them your approval, either by laughing or by passing emails or even by saying nothing at all.
People stand by because they believe that the person deserves being bullied, and they should know that no one deserves to be bullied.
I think people are bystanders because they don't want to get bullied themselves. Some people are just harsh and they'll just pick on you. But I think it's really important to have that one friend that you can like stick by, and they can defend you too, like you guys can have each other's back.
I think people are afraid to stand up to bullying, and they can get picked on some more and stuff if they try to stand up.
I do think there are people who want to stand up for bullying and they're not standing up because they're afraid that they're going to be bullied themselves. And it's always a fear.
In New York State, we have the Dignity for All Students Act. So it is state law that it is illegal to embarrass or harass or intimidate anyone on a school property, on school buses, at a school function.
It's very specific, and it asks for there to be an adult who's responsible at your school for helping everybody to feel safe. That person is called the Dignity Act Coordinator, and it could be any person in your school. That's a person who will take a report from you about a problem you experienced personally, about something you witnessed, or about your own behavior.
We have 2 coordinators plus me as an administrator, and between the 3 of us in the building, we've really been able to tackle all of the issues as they immediately come through the building.
When you bring it to an adult, it really helps to take control of the matter.
I think it's important to know that someone will always be on your side.
We now have parents talking to us and calling us and sending us emails about things that they're hearing. So the minute it gets into the building, we have a chance to stop it and make sure that education is the main priority here.
In my school, guidance counselors are like family. So you could come talk to them if you're not having a good day, if you feel bullied, you could go talk to them.
In the school, there's social workers, and I'm really close with one. She's really nice, and I just go to her when I feel down.
Bullying here really has been combated in many different ways. We have kids who are really taking leadership roles and standing up to what's going on.
I'm a repeated playbacker, and I have been for 2 years. We get together, it's an improv group, and we address bullying. We do skits, and we ask for personal stories and act them out and say what could have been done to stop the bullying from happening.
You get a reward at the end of the day for standing up for somebody and being an upstander. You get the satisfaction that you helped somebody and you showed compassion to them on a bad day that they were having.
If you are a kid and you feel that you want to change yourself because people are bullying you, then don't. Because I have been called weird or crazy many times, and I've learned to love it.
As a student myself, I was bullied and harassed through school. And I was basically called anti-gay names all through my school years. And at that point, I didn't even know whether I was gay or not. And I was called faggot and sissy all the time. So I got involved with Bristol Hudson Valley to try and make some change within our school district. And for a number of years, it felt like nothing was changing. 5 years ago, people would not come forward and say, I've been bullied and harassed. And now, just a few short years later, people are talking about it, and people want to make a difference.
Synthesis Club is a student-run club who tries to make positive changes in the school community, and we do a lot of community service. It's important for me to assure that the students have a safe place to come to where they're comfortable and they can be who they want to be.
I am in the Synthesis Club because I feel like it's a place where people can come to be safe and they know that here nobody judges and they can be who they want to be in themselves.
Oh, I'm in the Synthesis Club too because I don't like the bullying that's been going around lately and how many people that have been hurting themselves over.
I'm in Synthesis Club because I know how it feels to be bullied and I want to try to make a difference.
We do a lot of poster campaigns throughout the school, and we try to reach out to other clubs. We may make small little baby steps in making change, but it's definitely towards the positive.
I'm pretty sure it can help if we convince more people to come to our meetings and have more people to have respect for other people.
More and more kids are involved. This particular year I have 20 active, 27 in total, and most of them are freshmen, and that warms my heart because they're going to be around for a while.
It's like a second family that whenever something goes wrong or something happens, you always know you have someone to talk to that will not judge you, someone that will support you.
I've been in the club, this is my first year, and I'm vice president, which is really exciting because this club really matters to me, and I love this club to death.
When I do workshops with students, I say to them, you really need to speak to your own experience and be honest with who you are and what your experience has been in school. Because the more you're honest about it, the more people understand it to be real.
Ever since elementary school, I've been bullied. Just people would rag on me all the time about my weight or just any little thing that they could tear me down, they would do that. And in the news there were kids committing suicide, but they would make these videos and post them on YouTube of them holding all these flashcards and going to like a song or something like that. Everyone is insecure about something, and that everyone has something that they feel weird about themselves. So around December, Christmas, I got a nice camera and I decided to actually make the video. The outcome from the video was just tremendous. I had 122 different students in the video. It really brought awareness to, like, oh wow, other people feel the same way I do. And throughout the high school, the level of bullying went down tremendously. People stopped calling each other's names, and there was a sense of peace within the high school after the video aired.
End bullying.
End bullying.
End bullying. End bullying.
End
bullying.
End bullying.
End bullying.
End bullying. End bullying.
End bullying.
End bullying.
It's not just about the bully. It's not just about the student who's being bullied. It's not just about the teacher who steps in or steps aside and lets it happen. It's about every single one of us stepping forward and making a difference. Alone, we're just alone. But together, we're powerful.
We as a community need to come together and figure out a solution to this. Because simply put, bullying cannot be tolerated. I want you to know that there are places for you to reach out for help. And so whether you have seen bullying, whether you witness bullying, whether you experience bullying, it's a situation where there are solutions for it. And when you reach out, and I encourage you to reach out if you're being bullied or witness bullying, and you don't get the answers that you want, continue to reach out. There is more than one place to reach out. I believe that we as a community can only be our best when we work together to put an end to bullying. You have a right to get an education without being bullied. You have a right to do your activities without being bullied. You have a right to a brighter future, and that brighter future can only happen when we work together to put an end to bullying in our communities.
So you can be the smartest kid ever, and if you're not treating people with respect, you're not there yet.
It doesn't get you anywhere when you name call or pick on someone. It doesn't make you feel better about yourself. It's not worth it.
It's okay to change things about yourself or to be a certain way because that's the way you want to, but to be pressured into being or looking a certain way because someone wants you to, you shouldn't have to do that. You should just be the way you want to be.
If you're being bullied, just remember that you are who you are and don't let anybody change that because you're special and nobody can tell you otherwise.
So if you see anybody alone, basically say hi, ask how they're doing, don't bully them.